On the Newshour Debate tonight, we have an equal distribution of politicians and non-politicians, and I'm very happy to say we have two, and we'll soon get three representatives of the Samajwadi Party. Well, Madhukar Jaitley is advisor to the government of UP in Externally Aided Projects Department. He's a Minister of State rank. Ghanshyam Anuragi, on your screen out there in the bottom left, is a member of the Lok Sabha of the Samajwadi Party. Siddharth Singh represents the BJP. Renuka Chaudhary of the Congress will be joining us in some time. Kiran Bedi, social activist, former IPS officer, Aryaman Sundaram of the Supreme Court, Kumar Vishwas of the Aam Aadmi Party, Shailesh Gandhi in the studio. TSR Subramaniam, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. My first question is to you, Kiran Bedi. You've seen some rather ridiculous comments being made there by Akhilesh, including one of the comments was that the centre can withdraw all the IAS officers if they want. They can withdraw all the IAS officers if they want. We'll run UP with state cadre officers. Why do you think he's saying that?
I find them very paranoid. I find these UP politicians, particularly of the Samajwadi Party, unfortunately I wouldn't like to have mentioned the name, but since they are the lead government, I find them very paranoid on two counts. I find them paranoid on two counts. Number one, desperately focusing on one particular community. I do not know whether that community is equally accepting this. I don't know why. I would be surprised if they do, because rebellious voice from even that community are coming. So, in fact, they seem to be getting rejected also by that community in certain sections of society. So, I find them paranoid. One, too much pampering on to one community for votes. And secondly, the power of money. Because the money which was coming from Sand Mafia was coming through the local MLA who said he got it all done in 41 minutes. So we have concrete evidence of this, that somebody who is linked with Sand Mafia has got an order midnight from the current Chief Minister in 41 minutes. So I find them very paranoid. Both for votes, it's all numbers. It's about numbers, whether it's notes or it's votes. So I find a paranoid for both votes and notes. It's an absolutely immature statements coming out from a very important position as a Chief Minister.
Well, I don't know who's getting the notes, but I'm not sure if this kind of paranoid politics will get them the votes. But Madhukar Jaitley, what explains your paranoia, and why do you think your Chief Minister is goofed up like this? Today he says, I have to keep my party colleagues happy. So what do you have to keep your party colleagues happy with by keeping the mafia intact? Is he a Chief Minister or a mafia boss?
You see, I would like to ask you, where was your entire channel and your entire team when the state government was supporting the same officer of taking the action against the sand mafia for the last 4 months? Continuously, she was not stopped. She was asked to take action. She was taking action without any interruptions for the last 4 months. And do you think that without the government support, can an officer of that level continue in that position for 4 or 5 months?
Oh God, why are you exposing yourself, Mr. Jaitley? Are you sure of what you are saying? Are you sure of what you are saying, Mr. Jaitley? You are going to put your foot in your mouth this way. Because what you are saying is that you think that Durga Shakti was there serving at your government's mercy. You are actually saying that? And where was your government? Where was your government? And where was your government, Mr. Jaitley? Allow me to complete. Where was your government, Mr. Jaitley? And let's get some facts right. You want to get aggressive by putting the questions back to me. I want to ask you, you are asking me where was my channel? I am asking you, where was your conscience when you made Neera Yadav, one of the most 3 corrupt IAS officers in 1997? Why Mulayam Singh Yadav made a chief secretary only to have her removed? And did you feel hurt when she got charge-sheeted later? Did you feel hurt when she had to go to jail?
If you go into history, there will be no end to the arguments. My question to my statement to you is that since you said that this particular officer who has been suspended on a charge which is that she has not acted on the limit on which she should have acted.
What is the limit? What is the limit? What is the limit? What is the limit? What is the limit?
The administrative ground.
There is already a DM's report and a video which has surfaced.
Of course there is.
Substantiate the charge.
Go ahead. I know about it, but you may as well.
The fact that can I speak?
Yes, Mr. Jaitley,
You
but
see,
don't.
If there was an illegal wall that was being created by the people there, that the officer could have served a notice. The maximum that she could have done is that she should have stopped the wall from being constructed, rather than going ahead and demolishing the wall and creating
is it true?
over there.
No, is it true that the extra constitutional authority in that region, which is this gentleman called Narendra Bhatti, who is a nobody, he's only an ex-minister, I think, and is going to contest the next election. Is it true or not that he paid 51,000 to lay the foundation for a second mosque when there was already a mosque in that area? Was this not a deliberate attempt on his part to construct a structure illegally so that it could be demolished and you could have a political reason to pin the blame on the subdivisional magistrate? Because if you want to misinterpret things, that's the clearest interpretation that some people can make, Mr. Jaitley.
You see, whatever the judgment of the subdivisional magistrate was, she could have served a notice to those people who had done these kinds of construction activities and stopped those activities. Nobody was stopping her from stopping those activities. The fact that she went ahead without serving notice, without following the due procedure of law, she goes ahead and demolishes the wall.
Well, I don't think you're aware of the Supreme Court orders, but let's get a third point of view in Siddharth Nath Singh is rebutting. Go ahead. Yeah.
Arna, what better it could be for an officer if there is an illegal construction happening and goes and convinces the villagers themselves to do a demolition willingly. I think you should be applauding that officer rather than punishing and trying to create that they should have given this notice, they should have followed this procedure. But you cannot. I think the time has come, the Samajwadi Party should stop using the shoulders of secularism versus communalism debate and achieving their ends, which is of helping the sand mafia. That's the reality which has come and surfaced. But you are, and that has been vindicated by many reports, which is the DM report. Even if you look at the ILO report, I was reading that ILO report, they say, it also doesn't say that she had gone there and demolished it. Please read that. Then thirdly, there is also a fact that the villagers have given to the media, and some of the channels have also recorded through a spy cameras, and they have also said there was no communal tension. I think you should be applauding and welcoming an honest officer rather than punishing.
Renuka,
and the people who need to be punished are your own ministers who have been ranting against her and saying many things.
Renuka Chaudhary, why did the Congress Party? Why did the
demoralize
let's get everyone in
bureaucracy of this country?
Renuka Chaudhary, why did the Congress Party wait the entire week, give the Samajwadi Party a long rope? And when it realized that the furor because of the media pressure or whatever had become so big, it is then when Sonia Gandhi sort of intervened and wrote this letter. Why was it not done earlier? Maybe it would have been more effective. Were you weighing your options before the parliament session?
How ridiculous. How ridiculous, Adnav. I can't believe that you just jump to conclusions like this. We did not interfere because we believed that the state government would look into it. We all know administratively it takes time to understand and that they will set it right. When it didn't happen, then Mrs. Gandhi intervened. If we did it earlier, you would have said, why did she jump the gun?
No, certainly not. We were asking till Friday why the Congress Party was not reacting.
We are not doing something to posture for the media. It is being done to keep the morale of the bureaucracy high, and that too in fairness to support a woman who is perceived to have done something good and in all her zeal and enthusiasm as an officer. And that is what has
or was it that your Congress Party felt that taking too strong a position would lend yourself to the question which everybody is asking you today?
Talking. Hello, 1 minute. I can't hear a word because I'm trying to get a word edgeway. Now, the idea is that the resonance was there even amongst her fellow bureaucrats in the state. So that is why it was commented on.
Well, I don't know because...
Okay, now tell me what
because you know, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, there is another view that you were on the back foot already because of the way in which your Haryana government reacted with Mr. Ashok Khemka in the Robert Vadra case, and also because of the case of Pankaj.
What did the Haryana government... Hello?
Are you not aware?
That's fine. Yeah.
Are you not aware of the Ashok Khemka case?
You are not aware. That's why I'm asking
aware.
you. What is the comparison between this case and those two cases? Please
There is an obvious comparison which you are not seeing.
What is the obvious comparison? You are factually incorrect.
I am not factually incorrect. I am factually correct
One gentleman was...
because Ashok Khemka was replaced by somebody, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, 5 ranks his junior without being given a written order from the Seed Development Corporation.
Don't mislead
So he was
the
treated in the same manner.
You know that that is not the fact.
Well, I am only putting the fact out. You can check the fact.
Well, you can check the fact. You should check the fact. I've got a whole sheaf of facts if you're willing to.
Well, so you came prepared for my question on Robert Vadra, that means.
The fact of the matter is, Mr. Ashok, first of all, Mr. Ashok Khemka was not suspended. All right? He had a case ongoing. He was fighting for war. He refused to listen to the give the orders where he felt he had to be listened to by his juniors. It was his problem, and he was the one who had put in his papers. I don't see how you can compare.
Well, there is an obvious comparison. I don't know, ma'am, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, if you don't see it, I'm going to put that, because tonight, you know, we have to talk about the bigger story. And TSR Subramaniam can come in on this because my information is... No, 1 second, Ms. Chaudhary, Ms. Chaudhary, my facts are completely correct. And I'm now going to present one fact. And if
my facts are even correct, even more correct, and you can go online.
Well, you can. Well, then I'll present one fact, and then you can say, or not, this is factually correct or factually incorrect. And that one fact is the following. That one fact is the following. Bhupinder Singh Hooda, since March 5th, 2005, has transferred Khemka 18 times. He has transferred Khemka 18 times. What remains to be said? This man has been transferred 40 times in his 21-year career. And in the last 8 years, your Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda has transferred him 18 times, which means Bhupinder Singh Hooda transfers Khemka approximately every 4 or 5 months. I mean, what can be more ridiculous than that? And how can you take the high moral ground on what's going on in Uttar Pradesh? And is that the reason why you were buying time last week?
What is the reason you're attributing for that?
Well, obviously it's inconvenient to your government.
The Robert Vadra case.
Okay, Siddharth Singh is
There's nothing else except the Robert Vadra
How
case.
ridiculous.
Because
that is slanderous.
What
you are talking is, my dear, you will attract libelous and slanderous legal action.
And let me
if you
correct
talk like this. Because there is absolutely no truth to that. You cannot use Robert Vadra for no reason, and you are attributing motive which is not correct.
Let's go on facts, Ms. Renuka ji, not on rhetoric. Not on rhetoric. Let me give you a fact.
Why don't you go on facts? Exactly. I'm also saying go on facts.
Please hear me out. Please hear me out, Renuka ji.
Yeah.
In 2011,
you are not letting me say what I have to say. You have made an accusation. I'm giving you a clarification. Why is it you don't listen?
On a companion ticket to Sri Lanka.
Because Mayawati suspended her. They were Maman Ranjan Bhattacharya. That's why it's hurting to her.
The DOPT intervened.
What is
the DOPT intervened within 5 days in 2011 and got her reinstated. Now, why you want to show procedures under Durga Shakti Nagpal? Because you want to do a trade-off between an honest officer and your survival at the center.
Okay, now what about Piyush Chaudhary?
One at a time, the representative of the Aam Aadmi Party coming in. 1 second. One at a time. Let's agree. 1 second. Otherwise, we won't hear the questions and counter questions. And I request, because otherwise there will be 2 voices Renuka Chaudhary will be hearing. So one at a time. And by the way, Ms. Chaudhary, don't think we are going to let Mulayam Singh Yadav off. We have a lot of representatives of the SP, and we continue to put our focus on what's happening with the SP. This is, however, a relevant point. Yes, now the Aam Aadmi Party representative Kumar Vishwas wanted to say something to you. Yes, Kumar.
मैं अर्नब ये कहना चाहता हूं कुछ फैक्चुअल चीजें छूट गई हैं। एक तो मिस्टर भाटी ने अपने डिक्लेरेशन में अपना व्यवसाय भरा है, माइनिंग खनन भरा है उन्होंने। दूसरा, जिस कम्युनल हार्मोनी को बिगड़ने की बात कह रहे हैं हमारे यहां पर समाजवादी पार्टी के प्रतिनिधि, उनको समझना चाहिए कि अगर कम्युनल हार्मोनी बिगड़ने की आशंका मात्र से एक एसडीएम का आधी रात निलंबन कर सकते हैं, तो अखिलेश यादव के राज्य में 32 दंगे हो चुके हैं। अखिलेश यादव का निलंबन कौन करेगा? उन सारे कलेक्टर्स का आपने निलंबन किया या नहीं किया? और उस गांव में आप अपना कैमरा भेजिए, अपना क्रू भेजिए। मस्जिद के लिए जब चंदा इकट्ठा गया था तो 1 दर्जन से ज्यादा हिंदू परिवारों ने भी चंदा दिया था, उन्हें पता नहीं था। और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रेगुलेशंस मुझे पता नहीं ये एसपी वाले जानते कि नहीं जानते हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की साफ रेगुलेशंस हैं कि अवैध निर्माण चाहे मंदिर का हो चाहे मस्जिद का हो, उसको तोड़ना ऑपरेटिंग ऑफिसर की ड्यूटी है।
नहीं, इसको सेक्युलर कॉम्युनल,
उसके बाद बेशर्मी और है।
नहीं, कुमार विश्वास जी, ये इसको सेक्युलर कॉम्युनल करने की कोशिश हो रही है, इसको हम न्यूज़ में ना करने दें। मगर मैं पूछना चाहता हूं घनश्याम अनुरागी जी से कि आपको क्या पता था कि आपके जो व्यक्ति है, क्या नाम है उनका, नरेंद्र भट्टी, जो 40 मिनट में किसी भी अफसर का तबादला कर सकते हैं, वो खनन के बिजनेस में यानी कि माइनिंग के बिजनेस में उनका इंटरेस्ट है। डिड यू नो दैट दिस जेंटलमैन हु कैन गेट समवन ट्रांसफर्ड इन 40 मिनट्स हैज इंटरेस्ट इन माइनिंग, मिस्टर अनुरागी?
देखिए,
नरेंद्र
भाटी कोई खनन का काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। और ये जो
अरे उनके पेपर्स में मिस्टर अनुरागी दोबारा चेक कर लीजिए, कागज निकाल लीजिए, क्यों लाइव झूठ बोल रहे हैं आप? उनके कागज निकालिए जो उन्होंने विधानसभा में सबमिट किए हैं, उसमें खनन लिखा हुआ है, व्यवसाय में खनन लिखा है। सर
आप झूठ बोल रहे हो, आप
झूठ बोल रहे हैं। आप कागज निकालिए, ऑनलाइन कागज है। मैं कहता हूं टाइम्स नाउ की रिसर्च टीम अभी निकाल ले।
ट्रांसफर इस बात पे हुआ है, उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई इस बात के लिए हुई है कि उन्होंने पवित्र रमजान के महीने में और जहां एक पूरा का पूरा समुदाय पूरे दुनिया में, देश में आज रमजान के महीना में व्रत रह रहा हो।
देखिए ऐसा है ये अनुरागी जी, नहीं अनुरागी जी, एक मिनट अनुराग जी, एक मिनट रुकिए, एक मिनट अनुरागी जी, आप इतनी तीव्र गति से जा रहे हैं, आप 1 मिनट रुक जाइए।
कानून से ऊपर
अनुरागी जी मेरी बात सुनिए प्लीज।
IAS हो चाहे IPS हो चाहे नेता हो, कोई कानून के दायरे से ऊपर नहीं है।
अनुरागी
जो भी कानून को तोड़ने का
देखिए अनुरागी जी, मैं एक बात आपसे सीधे तरह से कहना चाहता हूँ।
अच्छी तरह जानती है कानून के बारे में,
सुनिए अनुरागी जी,
उनको पता है अच्छी तरह। और कुमार विश्वास, तुम अनावश्यक बात कर रहे हो। जहाँ रही कांग्रेस की बात, कांग्रेस को आज चिट्ठी सोनिया गांधी जी चिट्ठी लिखती है।
आप नरेंद्र भाटी जी का डिक्लेरेशन निकालिए भाई साहब, उसमें खनन लिखा हुआ है काम।
तो दूसरी तरफ खेमका IAS खेमका जी के बारे में जब उनके दामाद की बात आ गई, तब सोनिया जी ने कोई चिट्ठी नहीं लिखी, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कोई जवाब तलब नहीं किया, राहुल गांधी कहीं नहीं गए। तो एक तरफ और भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत अच्छी तरह के बारे में एक IPS अधिकारी, आप मध्य प्रदेश में एक IPS अधिकारी की हत्या कर दी जाती है जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुप बैठी रहती है। और
देखिए अनुरागी जी,
कांग्रेस,
देखिए अनुरागी जी एक मिनट अनुरागी जी, देखिए एक मिनट अनुरागी जी, एक मिनट कुमार विश्वास, 1 मिनट, नाउ प्लीज स्टॉप, एक मिनट अनुरागी जी, आपको एक बात कहना चाहता हूं, आप सुन लीजिए, नहीं तो आप बिल्कुल एक ही तरह से जा रहे हैं। आप सुन नहीं रहे किसी की बात, ये आपकी कोई इलेक्शन की रैली नहीं है, आप बुरा मत मानिए, आप 2 मिनट रुक जाइए।
अधिकारी इस तरह काम करेगी तो निश्चित तौर पर कार्रवाई,
मैं ऑडियो बंद कर दूंगा अनुरागी जी, आप बात नहीं सुनेंगे तो
करेंगे तो उसके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होना चाहिए। रहा कानून की बात, आप कहते मानिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात और कानून की बात, तो ये क्या सत्य नहीं है? ग्राम पंचायतें, ग्राम पंचायतें ग्राम समाज की जमीन पर बनी है और जितने मंदिर, मस्जिद, गुरुद्वारे, धार्मिक पवित्र स्थल बने हैं ग्राम समाज पे बने हैं। कोई अपनी प्रॉपर्टी पे नहीं बना है, पूरे के पूरे ग्राम समाज, और ग्राम समाज की जमीन सरकार की हुआ करती है। तो आप नहीं समझते हैं क्या? और फिर आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट और न्यायालय इस बात को नहीं जानते?
Does he ever take a breath?
गुरुद्वारे जो धार्मिक स्थल बने हैं सब।
अनुरागी जी एक मिनट अनुरागी जी, थैंक यू प्लीज 1 मिनट। देखिए ये वन साइडेड डायलॉग जो आप कर रहे हैं ये चलेगा नहीं अनुरागी जी, आप बुरा मत मानिए। 2 मिनट आप 2 मिनट बस ब्रेक ले लीजिए, 1 मिनट। सवाल सिर्फ ये है,
अब आपको बात ही हमारी अच्छी नहीं लग रही तो हम क्या करें?
आप इतनी बात कह रहे हैं, मुझे पता नहीं किस बात के बारे में आप बोल रहे हैं।
तो आपको
अनुरागी जी आप एक बात समझ लीजिए, मेरी बात को सुनिए। पहली बात है कि नरेंद्र भट्टी खुद पकड़े गए टेलीविजन में, ही वॉज कॉट ऑन लाइव टेलीविजन। दूसरी बात है, देयर इज अ लेटर फ्रॉम द DIG इंटेलिजेंस लखनऊ दैट ही डोनेटेड 51,000 rupees for the construction of a wall, right? And his brother Kailash was caught. 1 minute, let me speak now, unless you only want to hear your own voice. 1 minute, आप मेरी बात सुनिए, उनके भाई,
आप गलत उसको गुमराह कर रहे हैं।
देखिए अनुरागी जी, मुझे 1 मिनट, मुझे पार्लियामेंट के का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है कि इतना चिल्ला सकता हूँ।
वो था मंदिर का, उसके बारे में भी कुछ बोल दो फिर।
नहीं 1 मिनट, ये मस्जिद मंदिर की बात नहीं है सिद्धार्थनाथ सिंह
शांत करो।
जी, ये सिद्धार्थनाथ सिंह जी, ये मंदिर मस्जिद की बात नहीं है, and you cannot communalize it. I will not allow you to communalize it. I want you to go back to the real subject. What is the subject?
I'm trying to tell him, so you must stop his rant now.
Well, I will please, but I just want to say one thing to you. I don't think we can allow this to be communalized. This is a pure and simple case of corruption.
Mr. Arnab Goswami, the shoulders of communalism and secularism debate has been started by Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh.
Let them start it. Why don't you ignore it? You seem to be willingly jumping into it.
Why you are igniting it, Siddharth?
You are also igniting it by jumping into it.
Make them stop this.
Why you are taking it forward? Leave it.
And my question goes to TSR Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam, we've listened to this debate so far. I don't know which side has its hands clean, but can any side on the Newshour tonight say that they've got their hands clean and they don't want their bureaucracy to function like their own private armies? Mr. Subramaniam.
Arnab, I think this problem that we are seeing now is an all India problem. It is particularly acute in Uttar Pradesh, it is all over there, number one. Number two, I don't think any reasonable person who has followed the facts will not believe the chances are 1 in a billion that the accusation relates to the masjid. The real accusation relates to the mining. The clear evidence is the previous day the mining officer was transferred prematurely. He had nothing to do with the wall. He was also transferred. And there are about 20 other collateral circumstances. Let us not fool ourselves. But anyway, this inquiry has started now. It is with the commissioner. We should not go into the facts now. What is relevant here is that let us hope that the commissioner will be fair. Nobody wants to prejudge the inquiry. He should, if he is going to be under enormous pressure. 20 leaders of SP have already given their mind. They have told him what conclusion he should reach. He is now a prisoner. It is going to be a test case as to how much spine this man is going to show.
Really?
If he finds guilt. Now don't forget, as Chief Secretary in 1990s, clear instructions I have said that it is your responsibility to have these buildings demolished. You cannot allow them to come up. If they come up overnight, you should go and test them. Otherwise, I will hold you personally responsible. I will take departmental action against you if you do not do that.
Yes.
I am told the same instructions have been repeated at least 2 times. Supreme Court has said the same thing twice. Let us see in these circumstances what is the worst case scenario that can be created. So now the second point I am making is it's a test case for the commissioner to show how much. I am not suggesting 20 people have said what he should do. I am not suggesting what he should do, but he has to walk on razor's edge. He has got to make sure the whole nation is watching. I hope you are going to spend some time on the other comment about withdraw IAS officers. Shall I spend 5 seconds on that now?
Well, sure.
What I want to say is, I think the nation should know, was that comment serious? Or was it?
Of course it was. It was a threat.
Frustration? No, wait a minute, hold it. If it is heat of the battle, excitement, we can take it easy. But if it is serious, it has enormous implications. I don't want to develop them. Because IAS means you're talking of police, you're talking of forest, you're talking of services, then you're talking of railways, you're talking of currency, you're talking of Reserve Bank of India, you're talking of judiciary. These are all India things now. It got enormous implications. A country, the largest state, which is in the heart of the country, talking in these terms, has enormous. I think immediately distraction should come. That it is not a serious statement because it has got enormous national implications.
Well, he's obviously saying it seriously and he's trying to pose a threat. Aryaman Sundaram, to you at this point, do you think political parties are just posturing, including the Congress party, which has done all the posturing but whose Prime Minister will not intervene to revoke the suspension on Durga Nagpal? It appears that the Congress party says one thing and the government does another. Mr. Sundaram.
Arnab, I'm not talking about the Congress party, but let me say it very clearly that I believe all political parties are posturing. The reason is this, that I have always believed that whether we like to accept it or not, the political influence of the bureaucracy is huge the bureaucracy's subservience to the political bosses is also huge. It does happen that the bureaucracy has to perpetually ingratiate itself with the political bosses. Equally, the political bosses have started believing that the bureaucracy are their handmaiden to do their bid and to do their job.
Yeah.
Now, this is a typical example where all I have found in today's debate is each party quoting what the other party had done or not done. And how they
Exactly.
had transferred officers and did nothing about it.
Exactly.
Each party is accusing the other.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in the middle of all this, I have a comment from Mr. Jaitley, who has just made an outrageous comment, if I pardon the expression, by saying we allowed her to do her job all these days. I beg your pardon. Was that the expression used? That in the last 4 months when she was doing it, we allowed her to do it?
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you mean you allowed her to do it?
Let him
That's
answer.
a duty, that's a job.
Answer that.
That is the whole problem.
Answer that,
The
Mr.
political
Jaitley.
bosses feel
Answer
they're
that, Mr.
allowing
Jaitley, and
a
maybe you should
bureaucrat
apologize
to do
for
their
saying
job.
something so ridiculous.
Contrary,
She was
a bureaucrat
not
has a duty and a right to do the job, and the political
She was
bosses have a
acting.
duty and a
She
right
was-
to do
she was
their job,
performing a duty.
and their job is not to interfere with the bureaucrat
And
doing
if
their
she
job.
was acting
all
and if
that
she was
this
performing a
incident
duty
of
against the
Bhutan
Sand
has
Mafia,
shown
without
is
the
something
support of
we
the
all
government,
know.
she could have not
And
done
we
that.
know about
This
it
is the power
not
they are
today.
showing.
Then why
We
did you
know
withdraw the
about
support
it
of the
for
government?
years. We know about it not just in Uttar Pradesh, but we know about it all over the country, that the politician really holds a rod over the bureaucrat and uses the bureaucrat as his tool to get his job done. And unfortunately, too many bureaucrats also play that game.
Precise. Mr. Jaitley, would you like to take back what you said?
I said that that officer was never interfered. No occasion was any message passed to her not to act against the mafia, not to act against the sand mafia. She was continuing that.
Well, that was
serving
not a
notices
great
after
virtue.
notices without any intervention.
That was not a virtue that you did not tell her not to do it. That's your duty.
No,
How
but
could you have
then
ever
why is
imagined
the
that you
blame?
even
Then
should
why
have
is the
done so?
blame coming on the government? That the government
Because a nobody called Narendra Bhatti. Because a nobody called Narendra Bhatti, and nobody, an inconsequential ex-minister with no constitutional status, seems to believe that he runs that part of Uttar Pradesh even to say that I can get her sacked for 40 minutes. Because he's giving a communal twist to it.
Submission is that then why could Mr. Bhatti not get her transferred for 5 months?
Well, what a ridiculous
If
thing
this
to
is the
say.
argument that you are
What a
picking and
ridiculous thing to
choosing,
say. Which
why
century
could
do
he
you
not
belong to,
when
Mr. Jaitley?
When she was acting?
Which century do you belong to, Mr. Jaitley? What are you
41
talking about?
minutes.
Are you under some delusion? Do you know how the government of India functions? Are you a person of the Minister of State rank? Shailesh Gandhi is coming into the debate at this point. It's reached ridiculous proportions where all kinds of things are now being claimed. How was she allowed to run and why was she not transferred before? Shailesh Gandhi was to tell you something. Yes, Mr. Gandhi, go ahead.
No, this is
One second, Mr. Bhatti. Rephrase your words. Rephrase your words. Rephrase your words. Mr. Shailesh Gandhi.
There is something very filthy about this whole episode, particularly because the Chief Minister of a state appears to be keen on manufacturing communal disharmony. Something like this has brazenly and openly not been seen in India before. People have been accused of various things, but no Chief Minister so far has tried to manufacture communal disharmony
Absolutely.
to suit his selfish needs. As far as suspensions and transfers are concerned, it is unfortunately very true, and I think all political parties, and I would like the leaders of the political parties to put their hands on their heart and say that their parties do not resort to suspension and transfers as a method of getting compliance.
All of them do. The Congress does, the BJP does.
All of them. It's
All of
very
them do.
unfortunate.
It's ritual. It's a
and
ritual
I
for
think
all these
this
parties.
Durga Shakti Nagpal should be a symbol
take
for
an
us
average.
to ensure that this kind of nonsense stops.
Let's take an average.
People have started
What do you mean
believing-
takes it? One wait. Siddharth Nath Singh will take an average. Are you in a competition on how much you will oppress honest bureaucrats?
आप ज्यादा गुंडे हो या मैं ज्यादा गुंडा हूँ?
No, Mr. Goswami, when I say take an average, it is an important statement which I am making.
Yes, tell me
We
why.
have just read in newspapers today that more 50 officers per month are being transferred in Uttar Pradesh out of 350 IS officers. We have states which are ruled by BJP, where an average, not given by BJP, but by the government of India, an average is almost 2 years to be precise.
That's rubbish.
In some states it has been 1 year, 11 months, 16 days. So therefore, I said use an average before.
Kiran Bedi's, I want Kiran Bedi to respond to that.
Painting everybody.
No, I think it's...
Painting everybody, every political party and every government with the same brush.
Yes.
That cannot be a habit.
Why? You
so
forgot.
Therefore,
you forgot.
I interjected and I wanted to put the record straight.
Well, if you put the record straight, then remember my next question will come about the illegal mining in Bellary and which political party allowed it. My next question will also be about allow me to complete, about a minister in Narendra Modi's government called Babu Bokhadia, who was convicted and sentenced in an illegal mining case less than 2 months ago. My next question will also be about what you did to civil servant Girish Sharma for investigating sand mining in Sehor. Don't speak over me because you think I'm going to corner you on this. Because he was transferred 11 times in 11 years. 11 times in 11 years.
Mr. Arnab Goswami, to all your charges, I am well prepared to answer them point by point, subject to you give me enough time to reply. But I don't think your debate will help, because you need to focus what you are focusing is on Uttar Pradesh and what is happening to Durga, Shakti Napal,
Mr. Siddharth Singh, you said take an average.
Sorry, may I say something or not?
I just want to go to Kiran Bedi for a minute, and after that I'm going to come back to you. Kiran Bedi, you know this ridiculous comment made by Siddharth Singh, let's take an average. My average is better than yours in terms of action against honest bureaucrats. Your response to that?
2 years in a tenure.
Please let Kiran Bedi speak.
All these days,
average?
all these days, I've been hearing these debates across the party lines.
Let Kiran Bedi speak.
Across the party lines, we've stated the problem. We've analyzed Durga's case. We've looked at why she got suddenly transferred for whatever motivated reasons, apparently dishonest reasons. But the solution lies in a fixed tenure. Why are this not being tabled, that we as political parties will ensure that hereafter bureaucrats down the line will, or police officers, it's happened even in Jaisalmer, they will get a fixed tenure and they will be removed only on justified grounds, so that they have a reason to go to the tribunal if they want to. Why is this not being stated by political parties across, that we will ensure compliance of the rule of a 2-year tenure? I think that's the solution.
Well,
that will take away false discretions, abuse of discretion.
Then they won't be able...
Political parties must understand.
Then they won't be able to...
Political parties must understand that they are not running the country. They are ruining the country by making the bureaucracy dysfunctional.
Well, I
think this is a very serious
I think I will invite Renuka Chaudhary to answer that. But my question, I think first of all you made a very valid suggestion. Why don't political parties give fixed tenure? Answer is obvious, because then political parties won't control the bureaucrats. If they don't control the bureaucrats, then they will lose their opportunity to influence the bureaucratic decisions. Second point is, Renuka Chaudhary, everyone is amazed that while Sonia Gandhi is so angry and has in fact written a letter that this officer who was carrying out her public duties, standing up against vested interests, engaging in illegal activity, etc., while Sonia Gandhi is so angry about it, your Prime Minister, who is in charge of the Ministry of Personnel Training and Public Grievances, who has the power to revoke the suspension, has chosen not to intervene in this manner. Why?
Because we respect that there has to be given that space for the respective state government to put its act together.
Okay.
Because if Prime Minister intervened at this point on this particular case, everyone would have been screaming about their supposed federal rights, because Mrs. Gandhi's writing a letter is an appeal to help set direction, not to take over. All right? So it is out of respect for that and their own autonomy in running their governments. We have protested about what they are doing, and we are hoping that they will set their house in order.
And how many days are you planning to give them?
You will recommend that the centre will have to intervene on transfers and postings of individuals in their of officers in their respective state governments. The idea is
Miss Chaudhary, can I point out a factual flaw in your argument, with your permission?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you have just made a point on the Newshour that we don't want to jump into this so that the state government does not accuse us of breaking the federal lines, etc. First of all, that's wrong because you are... One minute.
No, that's not what I have said.
So
no.
what have you said? You have said exactly that, I thought.
You are twisting what I have said.
Now, how have I twisted what you said? I have said what you said.
No, you have not said what I have said.
So what have you said?
I have said that we do not want to swing into action of the officers in their respective state governments.
Okay.
We are helping set direction. We are appealing to them. We are respecting their space and we hope that they will set their house in order.
Okay.
Because you will be the first one to go to town and say India wants to know why the Prime Minister
No, I don't think so, Ms. Chaudhary. You are completely wrong. In that case, I'd like to remind you, why did your own government, UPA 2, and your own Prime Minister intervene to suspend to reinstate the Pramila Shankar, who had been suspended by the Mayawati government in late 2011? She was reinstated within weeks. Why did your Home Ministry revoke the suspension of an IPS officer, Umesh Kumar, suspended by the Andhra Pradesh government? Your own government has called the suspension extremely unfortunate.
What were the reasons?
When you've acted in the past, why aren't you acting now?
Are you saying that you have... Do you want us to jump in without giving them time or space to do what they have to do?
No, I'm just wanting you to be clear with us that you acted then. Maybe you didn't have a parliament session. You have a parliament session this time. That's why you're compromising.
No, we don't have to compromise on anything, Adnav. We are not scared about the mathematics.
Well, I don't know.
Please don't attribute motive to us.
Well, I just proved to you. I just
you
proved to you. I just proved to you that you are being selective. Now I'll give you one more example and I open up the debate. When Mayawati government suspended two IAS officers for praising Rahul Gandhi in 2008.
On what grounds?
Rahul Gandhi, they praised Rahul Gandhi in 2008. You quickly asked the suspensions to be revoked. So why the prevarication in this case? 3 examples now.
We'll take your advice. I'll tell the Prime Minister that he must take your advice.
Why is the Prime Minister not taking Sonia Gandhi's advice?
Should be done.
No, not my advice. Why is the Prime Minister not taking Sonia Gandhi's
Mrs.
advice?
Gandhi has not asked the Prime Minister to revoke her.
I am asking my Congress representative why my Prime Minister is not listening to the Congress
Mrs.
President.
Gandhi said in her letter. What has the Congress President said? What has she said? Has she advised him that he must revoke?
Well, I don't know. The Congress President has said that the government must ensure the officer is not being treated unfairly. So are you in any doubt that the officer is being treated fairly? Do you feel the officer is being treated fairly? And if the officer is being treated unfairly, which Sonia Gandhi does not want, why is the Prime Minister not doing what she wants him to do? Is it not a valid question, Shailesh Gandhi? Is it not a valid question, Mr. Gandhi?
And I just want to bring to your attention, Maharashtra has a law which was passed about 6 or 7 years back, assuring fixed tenure, which has never been implemented. And I had asked one of the secretaries, and they said because Anna Hazare demanded, we made a law.
Naive.
Sorry? Hello?
Arnab.
I think Miss Chaudhary, you said Shailesh Gandhi was being naive. Pray why?
Because fixed tenure, half the bureaucrats themselves will be opposed to it.
I said Maharashtra made a law. No.
You think every
first Maharashtra passed an ordinance and then it made a law. So you are saying the law is a joke?
Please. There is a warp and a weft of governance.
Ma'am, my point is the law is a joke.
Black and white.
No. What is the warp and weft of governance?
No, the law is not a joke.
No. 1 minute. What is the warp and weft of governance?
The bureaucracy does its role. The bureaucracy.
Aryaman Sundara.
Don't sweep away the bureaucracy's autonomy.
No. Of course, to the contrary, Ms. Chaudhary. Mr. TSR Subramaniam, let us now spend some time on one other case, which is the case of Pankaj Chaudhary. He reopens a case against a Congress MLA's father who is a history sheeter. The case was closed in 2011. Within 2 days of reopening the case, this man finds himself shunted out of his job. So that's the answer to...
No, 1 minute.
Yes.
No, that is factually incorrect.
Again, it's not factually incorrect.
Was he as an individual?
Yes.
Was he? There were 49 officers who were transferred at that time.
Right.
Do we need someone's permission to say that this man should not be involved in that transfer?
Certainly not. I'm asking you that there are protests all over Jaisalmer. Why should it not raise eyebrows when you file a case against the father of a serving MLA reopened by this man only for him to be transferred? Why should I not link the two? Why should you be so angry if I link the two? Point I've made to you, Renuka Chaudhary, tonight is whether it is Vadra or this. You want to do what you want to do.
Let me make the point, Adnan. The Rajasthan government ordered that all SPs of the state to reopen all history sheets on June 14, 2013. And this was also opened as per the order. So what is this news story that you're creating?
Ms. Chaudhary, we are not creating a news story. It is a breaking news story that a Congress MLA's father, history sheeter, had a case opened and your government got him transferred in 2 months. And for your information, Ms. Chaudhary, you should find out about the rules for transfer. You should find out about the rules for transfer.
You can't give selective stories and have selective connectivity.
Ma'am, you know I'm not selective at all, but I will be selective on this case because I want you.
Do you think we have to give media permission to transfer officers?
No. One minute. TSR Subramaniam is coming in, but I want to ask you today that just as you are angry, there are two cases. There is Durga Nagpal in Uttar Pradesh who acts against the sand mafia and is transferred within 2 days. There is Pankaj Chaudhary who files a case, reopens a case against a Congress MLA's history sheeter father on the 31st of July and is transferred by the government in 2 days on the 2nd of August. That is the point.
Let me tell you, the Rajasthan police rules under 4.13, which stipulates that any history sheet that has been opened cannot be closed. So what reopening sheet are you talking about?
Ms. Chaudhary, when you transfer... One second, we are getting a counter from Siddharth Nath Singh. We are getting a couple of counters. Siddharth Nath Singh is coming in. Yes, please.
Renuka ji, you are factually incorrect. It was closed in 1999. And there is also a case of 2012 where an IPS officer as an SP Bharatpur acted against the sand mafia. Within 24 hours, he was shunted out. So there is a case also there in Rajasthan. So I'm just putting the facts to you. And Mr. Arnav Goswami can ask you the questions then.
Specifically about Pankaj Chaudhary.
Yes.
SP Pankaj Chaudhary. We are talking on that point.
Yes, I am talking about that. I am talking about that because whenever anybody fights against corruption, Ms. Renuka Chaudhary, the person is punished in our country. Because, let me tell you. Since you are, one minute, I want to tell you, Renuka Chaudhary. The history sheet was opened up against Ghazi Fakir in 1965. Then the file went missing in 1984. History sheet was reopened in 1990. It was closed in May 2011. It was reopened on July 31st. Or within 48 to 36 hours of that, the officer was transferred. And Renuka Chaudhary wants us to believe this is a normal transfer, Ms. Chaudhary. Nobody will believe that. Just as nobody will believe that Ashok Khemka was treated fairly.
It's false and it's baseless. What you are talking is absolutely false and baseless.
Well,
and
it is
absolutely politically motivated if the BJP is talking about this, because it is factually incorrect.
No, I'm giving you a fact. Renuka ji, I'm just giving a fact which is appeared in many newspapers and you can find it.
The state administration is going to transfer 49
It is regarding the Pankaj Chaudhary, you don't want to believe it.
Are you denying that there is a case of
Pankaj Chaudhary, there is a Vikas Kumar also.
Happening or not at that time?
My next question is if the
Samaj... I would like to answer now on Vikas Kumar.
I have a question.
When he was acting against the sand mafia, why was he transferred in 24 hours?
Answer what I am asking.
I have a question.
Are you aware, do you agree that there were 49 transfers done simultaneously? Do you believe that in order to suspend Pankaj Chaudhary, we have done 49 transfers at the state government?
Ms. Chaudhary, why don't you give a reason, a valid reason that he was not transferred because of that?
You're going to say that...
Okay, Kumar Vishwas. Kumar Vishwas is coming into the debate. Kumar Vishwas.
Some random case somewhere.
अर्नब मैं सिर्फ कहना चाहता हूं कि ये पूरा देश इस समय देख रहा है कि एक ईमानदार अधिकारी की सच्चरित्रता का किस तरह मजाक पॉलिटिकल क्लास बना रही है। 2007 का सुप्रीम कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट है जिसमें साफ कहा गया है कि अपनी पुलिस के लिए एक आप रिफॉर्म बनाइए, लेकिन उसको ये बनाने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। और दोनों जगह मुझे लगता है सिद्धार्थ नाथ सिंह भी शायद याद नहीं कर पा रहे होंगे, मध्य प्रदेश में काबिल आईपीएस अफसर नरेंद्र सिंह को भी इसी खनन माफिया के एक छोटे प्यादे ने ट्रैक्टर के नीचे कुचलकर मार दिया था। और हमारी बड़ी बहन किरण बेदी उसके लिए अनशन पर भी थी, हम लोग भी थे।
जिसने रोंदा था,
सब याद रखते हैं। नहीं सिद्धार्थ जी,
जिसने रोंदा था उसको हमने 24 घंटे में अरेस्ट किया है, उस पर हमने क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग्स करी है, ये भी मत भूलिए
आपने नहीं
मत बोलिए।
सिद्धार्थ जी, मैं आपसे कह रहा हूं, अभी सदन चल रहा है,
रोंदा था,
आप सारी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लीडर्स
करके क्रिमिनल प्रोसीडिंग्स हो रही है।
आप सारी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के लीडर्स क्या इस सदन में
आप बोल सकते हैं, मगर गलत नहीं
मामले को रखकर जो 2007 का पुलिस वर्डिक्ट है वो लागू करेंगे या नहीं लागू करेंगे? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आपसे कई बार कहा है सारी पार्टियों को, आप स्टेट में लागू करके उसको भेज सकते हैं सेंटर के लिए, आप नहीं भेजेंगे क्योंकि आपको डायरेक्टर जनरल सलाम करने के लिए चाहिए।
रिफॉर्म्स, जुडिशियल रिफॉर्म्स, police reforms needs to be
well all this is big talk. If you believe in this, no, if the
need to address.
No, 1 second. The larger issue is this, and I am challenging the political class on the Newshour tonight. Since they preach about everything, I am challenging them tonight. If they feel so strongly about making sure bureaucrats are independent and allowed to work like they should, then don't you think Aryaman Sundaram, instead of bickering and spending the rest of this parliament session fighting each other in parliament, should they not bring about a law which ensures that political vendetta cannot become an instrument to be used against honest IAS, bureaucrats, policemen and other government servants? It shouldn't take too long to do that. Maybe they can make a commitment to that effect, but will they do that, you think, Aryaman Sundaram?
Arnab, I think it is most unfortunate that we have to make a law out of something which I think is so basic to public life decency. The fact of it is that this kind of nonsense has been going on, which is totally against public life decency. But the problem also is that while earlier people were circumspect about it, this kind of pressure of the politician on the bureaucrat was being done, but was being done very quietly and without making an obvious show of it. Today it has become brazen. The politician is not bothered. He's not bothered about the fallout. He knows that the public memory is short. It will be 1 week of something at the end of which he gets exactly what he wants. And today, look at what we're discussing. Shall we make a law out of what I think is basic public decency?
What is the alternative?
Of the political
what
class?
is the alternative?
No, they will not make laws
they will not
to tell the political class, please behave in a public, decent manner. Do we have to make a law for it? I think it's a very sad day if we have to tell an Indian citizen, I have to make a law only to see that you maintain public decorum.
We make laws to teach children to look after parents. Supreme Court had to intervene.
Well, it is a sad day also in this country that it is a sad day also in this country that the Prime Minister...
Is that what you're comparing it to, Ms. Chaudhary? Is that what you're comparing this to? If so, please say so.
You're not taking a stand on it. All of you political parties are not taking a stand on it.
Why is the Prime Minister doing nothing? Why is the Prime Minister not exercising his powers? What is he waiting for? How long will of a rope is he going to give? Why does he not follow what Sonia Gandhi is saying?
It's a number game, Arnab. It's an open and a shut case. The parliament is in session. It's an open and a shut case. They need the numbers.
My last question.
And therefore, the Prime Minister is not intervening.
My last question to Mr. Jaitley is this. No, Mr. Jaitley. Akhilesh Yadav says to compare Durga's situation to a parent beating a child. He says teachers and parents often beat up children, so we also have to punish officials. Now there are 109...
There are laws that you can't beat children, they have their rights.
Well, there are also laws you should not have, criminals in politics, so at least there's a public pressure for it. My question to Mr. Jaitley is this, that 109 of your 224 MLAs, right? 109 out of 224 Samajwadi Party MLAs have criminal charges against them. How about beating them up instead of beating up an IAS officer like Durga Shakti Nagpal? How come you are ineffective against these people?
You see, we should confine ourselves to the debate with regard to this particular officer itself.
Well, certainly it is. Those were comments by your Chief Minister. Are you disowning Akhilesh's comments?
By my Chief Minister? No, I'm not disowning his comments. What he says is absolutely right. Rather, what he did is absolutely right with regard to the suspension and preempting.
So you also believe that like teachers beat up their children, beat up children in schools, which doesn't happen in the modern day and age, that you should be beating up bureaucrats.
No. What I feel is that in order to prevent the life and property of the people of that area, whatever the Chief Minister did in the best interest of the state is absolutely right, and the inquiry is on. The official, if she is proved not guilty, she will be restored back. Otherwise, if she is proved guilty, the law will take its own course.
Well, I don't know. I've heard that word law will take its own course for far too long to believe in it. But I think the debate has gone beyond just the, the confines of the political class. And people will be watching. Because on the other side, on the Newshour tonight, we have another news story about the selfless valor of the Indian Army forces in Kashmir. And while this political bickering goes on, there will also be people who will be watching that. And they will be asking, when our forces show so much responsibility, what about our politicians? We'll debate this. But I thank everyone for giving their different perspectives on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.